As well as the standard fair use policy, these videos are protected under the Treaty of Peace and Friendship 1787.
Moors are awake. We are taking our place on this planet.
Islam Moors.
My nationality is Moorish.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Before you call the case you think I might be here on, I've had a chance to talk to Miss Seeley. She was in the MIDC waiting room, and I explained the charges to Miss Seeley. However, she would like to know under which jurisdiction I operate. I've explained that I'm a criminal defense attorney, and I don't operate under any jurisdiction, so I don't think she's seeking the services of an attorney at this time, and the court may like to speak with her.
Here we go, another sovereign citizen fool questioning jurisdiction. If the court didn't have jurisdiction, then you should not show up to court. You should not contact the lawyer. Just leave it alone. Let justice take its place.
Thank you, Mr. Batar.
You're welcome, Judge.
These are 23HR0457A, B, and C. These are Huron Township versus Bonita Seeley. Ms. Seeley, were you able to hear Mr. Batar just now?
Oh, first of all, are we on the record?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are we under penalty and perjury?
Excuse me, ma'am, but what in the doohickey are you talking about?
Are we on what, ma'am?
Under penalty and perjury, if you're willing to swear in.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I can barely hear you.
I said, is everybody willing to swear in under penalty and perjury?
Ma'am, we're not taking testimony as of yet. Today is the day and time scheduled for the pre-hearing and adjourned arraignment pretrial in these matters.
It still has to be placed on a record. He still has to be put under penalty and perjury because he's swearing to an alleged crime against it and holding me accountable. So even though this is just a hearing, it still has to be put on notice for the public as well.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
It should be very clear at this point that this lady has absolutely no clue what she is talking about, and that is why she needs a lawyer to represent her.
Ma'am, today is the day and time scheduled for the pre-hearing and the arraignment pretrial. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Bonita Seeley.
Ms. Seeley, Mr. Batar is the court-appointed attorney assigned to this courtroom for the day. He's indicated that you don't wish to engage his services. Is that correct?
No, let me explain my position. I asked him a simple question about jurisdiction. That's why this hearing has been re-adjourned for today, because the last hearing, none of the attorneys could answer the question in regards to what jurisdiction that we're operating under. So they want to proceed without addressing the jurisdiction, which is a violation of due process. So in order for him to represent me on any public record, I have to understand what jurisdictions he's operating on.
Flashback.
If I didn't think someone had jurisdiction over me, I promise you, I would not even get out of my bed. If I believed that a person, that an entity did not have jurisdiction over me, I promise you, I would not get up out of my bed. I would not take a time off of work. I would not stop anything that I was doing for that day to come to court to say these things. Number one, you know it's going to get you nowhere. There is no, it's like speaking Spanish to an English speaking person. So if you believe, Miss Seeley, from the bottom of your heart, that I nor this court has any jurisdiction over you, ma'am, don't come.
End of flashback.
So apparently this Moorish woman learned nothing from the verbal tongue lashing that Judge Bryant gave her. These people just never learn.
Ms. Seeley, if you do not wish to use the court-appointed attorney, and you confirm as much to the court right now, Mr. Bitar can go back, ma'am, Mr. Bitar can go back and do other things that he needs to do this morning. Do you wish to use Mr. Bitar's services, or do you wish to represent yourself this morning, or do you wish to retain counsel through some other mechanism?
Under what charge, under which jurisdiction, and then who's bringing the charges against me?
Ma'am, there were citations issued against you in Huron Township for limited access speeding 11 to 15 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. That's a civil infraction. There's count 2, no proof of insurance. And there is the misdemeanor of driving while license not valid or improper license. Do you wish to use the services of the MIDC attorney, or do you wish to represent yourself this morning, or do you wish to retain counsel?
Who are the parties bringing this claim against me? It's a simple question.
At this point, the judge just needs to find this Moorish woman guilty because she's clearly too dumb to understand anything that anybody says to her.
I answered your question, ma'am. I answered your question, ma'am. I answered your question, ma'am.
And could you re-answer it? Because I didn't hear it. Who's bringing the charges against me?
The citation that was issued to you was issued by an officer from Huron Township, Freddie Yono. It's the citation that was issued. It's signed.
So it's Freddie.
It has his name and his ID number. Ma'am, my question to you is, do you wish to engage the services of the court-appointed attorney, or may I release him to go back to do some other work?
Wait a minute. I have questions before I can answer on. You're trying to get me to...
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yes, it's a,
no, ma'am.
It's a due process violation. Objection. Yes.
Miss Seeley, this is the third and last time I'm asking you. Will you be using Mr. Bitar to represent you this morning, or do you wish to retain your private attorney, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I need to understand what jurisdiction we're under.
Mr. Bitar, you may return to your breakout rooms to meet with other potential clients. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Ms. Seeley, do you intend to represent? I'm sorry, Ms. Foley Carter.
I just want we started this case back in July. Ms. Seeley attended her first pretrial. She demanded that the case be dismissed. I declined. I asked that the case be set for a bench trial. Ms. Seeley objected, and Magistrate Hinman advised her to file a motion stating her objection. Since then, she asked Judge Green for her oath of office and then didn't appear for the court dates before Judge Oakley. So this case has been going on for quite some time with no resolution.
Because I'm asking a question and it requires a rebuttal when it's being ignored. You cannot violate the due process. This is a hearing, and any questions that I have needs to be answered. You don't get to sit in the capacity of government and ignore the questions that the people have. Someone's bringing a claim against me, and my only question is, are we dealing in a commercial or a common law, also known as a record of law, court? That's simple. So are we in a common law court, yes or no?
Marianne, a trial, in-person bench trial date in this matter, please.
Objection. Objection. Are we in a common law court, yes or no?
January 23rd.
Case dismissed.
At 11 o'clock.
Case dismissed.
I think the fuck not, you trick ass bitch.
Case dismissed because you refuse to rebuttal to the question regarding jurisdiction. You cannot proceed without honoring the jurisdiction. You cannot be in the capacity of a... Yes.
The misdemeanor matter and the two civil infractions that are traveling with it that were issued on... that were issued on April 26, 2023 will be set for an in-person bench trial in courtroom number 1.
Objection. I will not be showing up. Objection. I will not be showing up. You refuse to answer the question of jurisdiction. You're trying to get me into the courtroom so you can take me against my will and lock me up in the cage like an animal. Objection.
Objection.
You do not have jurisdiction over me. You do not have judicial authority in North America. You are working for a municipality called the state of Michigan. You have no jurisdiction. You are an attorney. You work for a corporation. You are in a municipal capacity. You have no authority. You call yourself government. Your position is a public servant.
Miss
I am the objection.
Miss Seeley,
no, you cannot proceed as an attorney. Objection. I will not be showing up in court. I will appeal this matter. Objection.
There's no question pending to you, ma'am. This court will be muting you at this time because this court. The court has muted Ms. Seeley as her responses are not responsive to the matter that is before the court. This matter is being scheduled for trial. If Ms. Seeley wishes to absent herself from that trial, that is her absolute right. That trial date is January 23rd
I will not be showing up.
That concludes this matter.
Thank you.
Objection.